Ladies and gentlemen, everyone around and in between, it is Debate Sensei, CEDA edition. We talk about things relevant to the Cross-Examination Debate Association competitive debate. I have with me the Director of Debate from California State University, Long Beach, Deven Cooper. Thank you so much, Deven, for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Excellent. We are going to be covering a recap of the Kentucky round robin. So let's start off by recapping.
And the Kentucky tournament.
Huh?
And the Kentucky tournament.
Oh. So it's the... Oh, there was two separate ones. I'm only looking at the... Okay.
Yeah, because it's like the round robin is first, and then you have the larger tournament.
Oh my goodness, I totally overlooked that. Thank you for clarifying that.
That's all right.
Yeah, no, I would have. Oh man, that would have been an incomplete episode if that were the case. All right. So, well, which one's first, the round robin and then the tournament?
Yes.
All right, let's start with the round robin then. Okay. Let's start with the sort of importance of each of these tournaments. What makes them unique and significant?
It depends on who you talk to be honest.
Okay.
But I think the Kentucky round robin in itself is seen as a prestigious tournament for folks that are not K teams for the most part.
Oh, really?
That are, yeah, I mean, because to be honest, the Kentucky round robin is cool. It's like something that I attended when I was debating. It's something that, perceptually the top set of teams in the nation will attend. But the problem is that there is a lot of structural unfairness embedded in it quite a bit because of the way that judges are chosen and represented in that space. So that becomes an issue for quite a few people.
How are they chosen?
Well, I mean, typically it's like usually the directors of the programs themselves. However, there could also be conflicts that could exist, like people that have debated on, the team probably, not so long ago, or coached the team not so long ago, or coached the team that was in high school, or someone could be in a relationship with another coach from another team. And so there has to be like ways that you have to have extra judging pulled into the system there.
Okay. And I'm looking, and there are only 7 teams that are invited, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's based off of prior season records. Okay, and that's why Long Beach went, because you guys had such a stellar season last season, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so let me get my thing here. So let's take a look at who is at these places. We got Emory, Kansas, Dartmouth, Michigan State, Harvard, and then Long Beach. The lone West Coast team, huh? Everyone else,
always.
Yeah, not too much representation on this side of the Rockies. Okay, so who is the standout team according to this particular tournament here? It looks like. Oh, let's talk about how it's structured, because I'm looking at this. I'm trying to make sense of it, and they're calling it the Run for the Roses.
Yeah, it plays off of the horse theme of Kentucky.
Yeah, the Kentucky Derby, and they have seven races, and that's supposed to represent the round robin, right, where everybody hits everybody. Yeah. Okay, got it. And so out of those 7 teams, 6 teams will debate, and 1 will sit out every round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. And so, but what's up with these points? I'm looking at these CEDA points. What is that? Is that just based off of wins? How do you determine?
Yeah, CEDA points are just based off the wins, and it's like what gets you your ranking in the CEDA rankings at the end of the year.
Okay.
Or the end of the season, more so.
Okay. But there's no break rounds. There's no elimination rounds.
They're all elimination rounds, pretty much.
Got it. All elimination rounds. Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, every single one of these is a nationals final round. And yeah, that makes it incredibly tough. And right. All right.
Mhm.
So what are some standout memorable things from this tournament? Looks like we have like Emory looks like they took the top spot.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, is this a team that's still intact from last year? I forget.
Yes.
Okay.
They
Okay.
were, I think they were in maybe quarters
Oh, at
of the
CEDA
NDT.
of NDT. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Are
I
there
could be wrong.
any other intact teams from that from the previous season?
Um, Dartmouth.
Dartmouth is still intact. Okay. Bald and
Um, hmm?
Bald and Kai, is that their name?
Yeah, so I think for the most part, those are the only ones that were left intact, I believe.
All right. And you could tell, like the people who with teams still intact, they like the records seem to be kind of
Oh,
reflecting.
sorry. Yeah. They're the only ones that left intact. Yeah, everybody
Okay.
else had a new partner.
Okay. And Long Beach is still finding themselves the new partnership and trying to grow into that partnership as well.
Yeah, I think two of the teams, us and maybe one other team, have a freshman partner. I think.
Oh, really? So Medina is a freshman.
Yes,
Okay. All right.
and
Well,
also I think Michigan has a freshman that
Michigan.
they're dealing with. Yeah.
Okay. And that's also kind of reflected. They're still kind of finding themselves. Okay. But still, like everybody picked up at least one round against everybody else. It shows you the caliber. Yeah, against everybody else. All right. Okay. So this all take if it's 7 rounds, do all 7 rounds take place on the same day?
Two.
It's over 2 days. Okay.
Mhm.
And you're saying that this is part of a do they call it a swing when you have two back-to-back tournaments?
Well, not this one. This is just like a round robin in a tournament. A
Okay.
swing is like when you have two full tournaments back to back.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So are all of these teams also, or were they all also in the tournament itself?
I don't think Harvard was.
So, okay. Was this an
Like,
online tournament?
no, it
No,
was. It's in person, but we attended online because I was running the Jack House. So there's no way.
okay. Now, is there any sort of strategic approach that people take to the round robin that's notable? Like, do they withhold arguments or affirmatives because it's the round robin?
Sometimes, yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes they do, and they, sometimes people will break new stuff almost every round,
Mm.
like a new F or a new neg argument. But yeah, it's always about the element of surprise at a round robin.
Okay. Okay. Were there any surprises at this one that were memorable?
Mm, Not that I really know of.
No.
There could have been some on the other side, but like for me, I was just focused and a little bit distracted by the amount of judging that was horrendous.
Oh,
But
really?
you know,
All
that's
right.
just
So
what it is.
spilling a little tea. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, the judging is horrendous if you are indeed a team that does not read a plan, or you do critical things, or you read a K. Like
Mhm.
this pool was not the friendliest unless there are certain configurations. Because I mean, I'm not gonna say that like all the judges were like not good for K teams, but what I will say is that there is a certain level or a certain political atmosphere that is created at these tournaments. And it's not even, you know, this year, but it was last year as well. It was when I attended as well. So it's just like, I just don't always think that some people that are in charge of these round robins are necessarily concerned about the structural exclusion and like the lack of diversity within
Mhm.
the judging pool.
Okay.
Stylistically, racially and sex wise. So, and I think that's a problem that, I can ask and talk about and suggest all the time, but it seems as though it gets brushed off. So,
All
that's
right.
it.
Were there any major upsets that you could, like? It's kind of hard to say because all of these are really top tier teams. Like anybody
Yeah.
can beat
So
anybody.
I don't think there was like, anything like that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the tournament proper. To say, I did not have that one pulled up on that. So what was the name of the Kentucky tournament? Did you just call it Kentucky tournament or?
It has a name.
Oh,
It's not the Run for the Roses. It is shoot. It's another clever little term. It's the sorry. It's the is it JW pattern debates now or is it still there was another name of the tournament that was somebody, but I think JW Patterson should be the name of the tournament now, I believe.
JW Patterson. Oh, there's a high school invitation. Oh, but
I could just
yeah, it's the 28th JW Patterson debates hosted by UK NDT CEDA on September 28th.
Yeah.
2024. Yeah, you got it. All right, excellent.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. I'm like, I know I'm not tripping.
Yeah. All right. So, what are the entries like on this one? Is 100 entries in open alone? My God.
Yeah, it's a big tournament. It's one that people really go to like really show out and try to get some level of credence for their style of debate. But there's also a lot of K teams that have made an ethical stance not to go to Kentucky because of the way that the judging goes down and the way that generally how people are handled at that tournament, I guess. I don't know.
Not the round robin. The tournament itself also has issues.
I mean, yeah,
both.
Like the judge, the way that you choose judges is based off of mutuality instead of ordinal ranking. So if I mutually rank somebody 70, I have a chance of getting them.
Oh, okay.
And so
that means the other team also ranked them 70.
Yeah, or in that area. And so I just don't understand why any tournament still uses that unless you're really trying to rig it for certain people or you're trying to get certain outcomes. Because I feel like at the end of the day, it is a hard sell for if you're a team that doesn't do a lot of the conventional things to get a judge that you've mutually pref like 60 with a traditional team. That judge more than likely is going to almost overwhelmingly favor the traditional performance as opposed to one that is more critical.
Okay. So MPJ versus ordinal methods of got it. What is this Wildcat division? What does that mean?
They have I think that's just their novice division.
Wildcat.
Is that not the JV division?
I think it's
a JV division or something like that because I don't have anybody in that division, so I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I would only bring open teams to this tournament anyway.
So yeah, there's a bunch of teams from Liberty in there and a few from Navy. Okay.
I mean, it's very expensive to go number one, but yeah.
Okay. Standout teams. I'm looking at Emory has 10 entries. Kansas has like 11 entries. Oh my God. Michigan's got like 8. Michigan State's got like, oh man. Northwestern, all the ones that you'd expect from there, but 11 teams. My goodness. How do you get that to that point?
Money.
Yeah. Wake Forest. All right. So did you notice any you were talking about Western Kentucky, but I don't see them there. Not this one, huh?
I think they were. Maybe look at the different divisions.
Yeah.
I could have swore they would go because it is.
Western Kentucky had one in the Wildcat division, and we're thinking that's
JV, I think.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, why would you not go to a tournament that's like right down the road?
Yeah. I mean, probably not that long of a drive for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, and there, let's take a look at some. Let's get this results tab open here. Okay. Fine. Let's take a look at where's the bracket? There we go. And that's for novice. Boom. Let's do open bracket. Okay. So we get to double ox breaking. Double ox. That seems like a tough break.
32.
32. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
That's
32.
typical for most tournaments, but Harvard is octos.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's right. That's an incredibly tough break. So at the top 32, what does that get you to? I mean, and there's 8 prelims.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, 6.
There's 6 prelims. Okay. And so does that mean there's some 4.2s that did not break? They missed on speaks?
No, I think all of them broke.
They all broke.
Should be. I thought.
Was there any 3.3s broke?
No, absolutely not.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, that would be pretty lucky to get just a perfect break on that one. All right. Let's do just a couple of standout debate teams. We had 2 undefeated Kansas teams after prelims. That's amazing to have 2 of them, and 1 Michigan State. Are you familiar with any of these teams? We have from Michigan State, we have Gussis and Lewis.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Are they carryover last year?
Well, they are, but not together.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Kansas has Larson and Schultz, or is it Schultz? Sorry. And then Reverie and Marshall, or Rivari.
Yeah.
Okay. Any of those carryovers?
Yes. One of them was in the finals of the NDT last year.
Oh, wow. You know what? I'm looking Long Beach, 5-1 record, 6th rank. I mean, seeded 6th after the prelims. That is a good showing for a young team, right? 1 junior, 1 freshman. Not bad.
And we were online.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
So you went to the round robin and then were online for the tournament?
Mm-hmm.
Were you just doing it from the hotel?
Well, they were doing it from the team room because we were running the Jack Howe.
Oh, okay. Wow.
The Jack Howe comes before any of these things because that's the way we even fund our team mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we break 32 teams, right? Were there any standout rounds here? Were there any major upsets in this one? I'm not seeing it. Oh, was there? Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh no. Where? Oh, let me take a look here. Oh, I see it. Oh, to Kentucky, the 27th seed. Oh.
Yep.
Okay. So was this a framework debate? Is that what happened?
No, it was a dissad. It was a dissad.
Okay. You were on the
elections dissad.
Elections dissad. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, but like for me, to be honest, I think that like I suggest things to my students and I strongly suggest it. And I think that maybe I should be more forceful about things when I know that things are possibly not getting done. And I think that the general knowledge of the election is lacking.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that if you decide that you're going to read an affirmative, that you say that you're okay with defending disads and some level of fiat, you better have this election down pat until November.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think that could have been like a little bit of the issue, is coming up with the strategic way to utilize the knowledge from that.
Well, it's a young team. it's early in the semester, in the season, and maybe it's a valuable lesson.
Yeah, I mean, well, hopefully.
I'm also
Hopefully.
I'm also looking though at Georgetown picking up over Emory, and that it was a 23 seed over a 10 seed,
Yeah, that's understood.
and not a was that kind of noted as an upset right there? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know those teams personally, but like just based on the numbers, yeah, that would be an upset.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we have so then in octafinals we kind of mostly people that you'd expect, but it doesn't look like there's many upsets that are happening from here on out. I'm not seeing it, mainly because yeah. But we still have some pretty standout teams. We have Emory with 4 teams in octafinals. My goodness,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's like congratulations to them. Kentucky with a couple, Kansas with a couple, Michigan State with a couple. Okay. So for mention any standout rounds at all. Were you judging in these rounds?
Nope. I was
No.
running the tournament,
That's
remember?
right. You were running the Jack Howard. How quickly I forget.
Yeah, so it's just like the tournament was kind of out of sight, out of mind a little bit, except for when I would prep them before the round. But like Diego and one of our hired coaches, Gio, was mostly coaching them. Like I came in and I did some stuff and I said some things and set some reminders, but like outside of that, it was mostly them with them. So
Okay. Well, we have these Emory teams getting all the way to. Well, both of them made it to semifinals. Only one of them made it all the way. So Gallagher and Hecht was that the same
that
team?
was the same team that won the Kentucky round robin. Yes.
Okay, that's right. Oh my goodness. Well,
Which I think in some ways pivots them to being possibly the top team right now in the nation.
yeah. I mean, like
And they're
like
not
that.
seniors at all.
Okay. Right, and they're just running. So, do they have an app that they're known for now, or are they one of the kind of the teams that switch it up?
I don't. I mean, I think it's mostly carbon tax, carbon
Just okay.
dividends, stuff like that. It could be other things, right? Because it could be a team that read like a different iteration of the app against another team, or change it up a little bit, but not too much, nothing crazy.
So, is the carbon tax app basically like if you were going to put a percentage on it, like the chance that you're going to hear a carbon tax app, what are the chances that that's what you're going to be seeing in these rounds?
50%.
50%. Okay. So what takes up the other 50%? What would you expect?
A mixture of cap and trade, some type of biofuels app, or fossil fuels, or hydro. Like, to be honest, like a lot of the traditional teams, and I started to think about this after a while, is that the larger policy debate community is really obsessed with this idea that we need to talk about climate change, and the major solution to that climate change is always revolving around cap and trade or carbon tax. And I just don't think that that's like the best education for us to be having an entire year of talking about like climate change, and that the main structure in which we are analyzing it through is just a market-based
Right.
instrument. And this is not even the first year this has happened. It has also been in 2017,
Okay.
and it's also been in 2005 or 2004, one of those areas. But I remember it being a thing when I was debating, when I got to college, and then like it was a thing like not too many years ago, like 2017, and now here we are again debating about cap and trade, carbon tax.
Hmm.
And so
Okay.
it seems to be just like a running educational flaw, I think, when it comes to talking about clean energy policy or, climate change in general, that this is the run-to spot.
Okay. Um, did you hear about? We're gonna do a deeper dive on like 1ACs that people should know in a future episode. But were there any like creative positions that came out? Anything that people were talking about after the tournament?
I mean, so I think the thing about it is there are some AFs that teams will run that are a little bit outside of those two AFs.
Okay.
Like Michigan State has like this green liability
Huh.
AF where it punishes people who like greenwash, say that they're environmentally friendly and they do XYZ to
Hmm.
reduce emissions, but they actually don't. And so
Okay.
they create this green liability that, you can go to the courts and all that good stuff. But I think that's like a good creative AF that gets into the legalistic area of it. Dartmouth runs this confusing ass AF that is dealing with banking and like the assets that people have when they emit stuff, and if the I'm trying to remember, it was like if you're a company that has certain assets or holdings in the bank and they engage in like these emissions based off of like whatever cap, that they get to tax them off of their assets or gains or some shit,
Hmm.
which I think is like cute or whatever, but like a lot of people will probably read T against it if you're a traditional straight up team. Same thing with the Michigan State AF. Michigan has a nuclear fusion AF.
Oh, right. You were talking about that at the last episode.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so that's the thing. Like, I mean, and they've lost on T like in the
Oh.
beginning of the year. But I don't know. I feel like generally maybe the consensus is that cap and trade and carbon pricing is the best thing that we should be doing.
Okay. Well,
And
I'll.
like,
Yeah. I definitely want to learn. I mean, I kind of get the gist of what those policies are, but kind of unpack it.
yeah,
Those.
but I think those are two policies that'll never really fucking happen on a national level.
Yeah.
Like there's states that do that. Like
Okay.
California has like a cap and trade thing, and other states, some states have a carbon tax, carbon pricing type of
Mhm.
thing,
Okay.
but it's not like a uniform policy in the federal government. Because
Hmm.
if it was, we probably wouldn't have had this topic sutured the way it is right now.
Did you hear about any creative, critical positions at this tournament?
Not really.
No.
It seems like it just seems like a lot of people these days in debate, and I hate to sound like that person, is just they're just not fucking being that creative. I mean, maybe it's just that they haven't read all the literature or dug into the literature deep as they should have, right? But I just think that there's so many creative things that people could be doing. There's so many creative things that my team could be doing. But like I'm not gonna keep pushing the envelope too much because it is their career and that's what they
Yeah.
want to do. I just simply find articles and I put them and sort them into a Dropbox and like here, if you want to do that, have fun. But like don't sit up and say you don't have anything or you don't know what to say when a lot of stuff was put in there for you. And I don't know how it is for other teams. I know there are other teams that just write all of their shit for their students, and I just refuse to do that. And that's just kind of what it is. And
Mhm.
it's like that's cool, but like we're just pretty much debating each other as debate coaches right now
Right.
because
Right.
people are
Right.
just like doing that.
Yeah. Um, yeah. NPDA was experiencing that, and like their numbers have been going down, probably because IPDA is coming up. But one of the recent
Which
rumors.
is unfortunate. We
Yeah.
can do a whole segment on that.
Oh.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Like because and I just like hint at it a little bit. I just think that IPDA is just it's just anti-intellectual. I just think
Okay.
it is, and that's a hot take maybe for some people, but I think that it is a style of debate that was created in the South, and it really shows.
Oh. Okay. All right.
But
Well, Kentucky, you know what? I'm still going to say, like, y'all did a good showing. I know how it is being sometimes, I wasn't always one of the higher seeded teams when I broke at a tournament, but there was a few times and I dropped on that first round and it is just a gut shot. It just, all right.
like,
But
yeah,
yeah. Oh, man.
Right. And
But yeah, I do know how that feels, but still, like being one of the top seed teams still is something to celebrate. I think it's still something to acknowledge and recognize that the capability on that team is doing good. And congratulations to Emory, man. They like the GH is getting a roaring start to their season. So.
I mean, at least what I can say is that we did beat them in prelims.
Oh, really? Oh. Oh,
We
well, see, there you go, right?
I mean, and I feel like the best strategy to beat some of these straight up teams is to have something new to say against them every time you go against them.
Right.
Because if you don't, their trillions of coaches are going to just prep out every single word that you've said, and it's just not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So that's just going to be our strategy from here on out, is to say something new to all these teams.
Okay.
Like, we have to.
Yeah. And like,
because if not, we're going to be debating their coaches.
Yeah. And the something creative, something that kind of gets them out of their comfort zone. You know what I mean? A little move here and there that they didn't anticipate. Absolutely. All right. Well, hey, thanks for giving me a little bit of background on the Kentucky, especially since I was ready to just talk about the round robin. I'm glad that you include me, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a whole other tournament there. You can tell I'm not in the community like you are. But yeah, when we come back, we will talk about some 1ACs that people should know. Obviously, is going to be cap and trade and carbon tax, but maybe some critical positions, and I definitely want to talk about that fusion one and like what's going on with that. So thank you so much, Devin.
Welcome.
All right.